Let me just check and make sure real quick.
No. Damn, my back is so rounded.
So you can see if the camera shuts off. But then worst case we have the iPhone as redundancy.
God. My natural stance is a little round, and I'm self-conscious about that now.
I'm sitting like this. So let's talk
Welcome
about
to Benched.
Oh.
Don't just ignore them just because we're in a different setup today.
Yeah. Hey everybody. We haven't tried this kind of a seating arrangement.
Yeah, it's a little more intimate, and
Yeah, it's like it's feeling very Joe Rogan-ish.
Yeah.
Like
I'm gonna face this way regardless because I like the idea of you being in my periphery, and I don't want to look right at you.
I'm staring directly at him.
Yes.
Just cause.
So if you guys haven't noticed, Collin has a little
I've just been trying out stuff, just stylistically.
stylistically.
I just thought one day, like, I'm gonna try like working on hats and
I'm
stuff.
sure it's not just random. I'm sure you have your reasons.
I mean, I just kind of woke up and I was like, yeah, I don't really like play with hats that often, And I have all these sunglasses that I don't wear either, and I just think, I thought like maybe the hats weren't working because I didn't have like other accessories to go with it,
Oh, I could think of something you don't have.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
A good haircut.
Okay. Yeah, so for anybody who's curious, I've been on a little bit of an exploratory journey.
My God, the shades came off
with hats because my barber fucked my shit up bad, pretty bad. Everybody's telling me like, oh, it's not that bad. Shut up.
Yeah, I'm not one of them. I think it's awful.
No, I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
I think my big thing is just that like I don't care what other people think. So when people are like trying to like give me some sort of encouragement and they're like, oh, like it's not that bad, like I think you're just not used to it, I don't care what you think about the haircut. I don't care that you think it doesn't look that bad. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you're trying to like cheer me up or whatever, but my problem is I don't like it. I think it looks bad. They cut off the whole front shit, so that little like front fringe thing I had going on, gone. I don't like that. I have a big forehead, so right now I'm in crisis mode. This has been the hardest week
Yeah.
of my life.
Yeah. I mean, I've been telling you for at least like a month now, get a wolf cut. Solved all my problems.
I gotta get a wolf cut. Yeah, that'll be like me in maybe 3 years when I could grow out the sides.
Yeah. I mean, the awkward phase was awkward, but
Yeah.
can't be more awkward than what you have now.
I hate you. Okay. So yeah, if you see me the next couple episodes wearing a hat of some kind, it's something different. That's why. Don't need to ask questions. Damn, I like scrape my hand up against this and it's like all rusted metal. So
you're gonna need to get your shots.
Yeah, I'm a little worried. Yeah. Uh-oh. But anyways, what do we have going on this week? How was your past week,
Interestingly enough, last night I actually gave myself a little trim.
Little trim?
Yeah. I don't know if you can necessarily tell. Like, I've been trying to keep it around this length for a bit.
Yeah.
And so I was actually partook in some.
I'm gonna go full Joe Rogan right now and just like cut you off to tell you to speak louder into the mic. He'll be talking to guests and he'll be like, actually speak into the mic real quick.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, a little bit more like towards the top and like speak up a bit.
So I went to the.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. But
if people can't hear Devin, just remember it's not my fault because I do as much as I can on the audio side. It's just this motherfucker speaks soft.
Yeah, I'm just a little softy.
You're a softy?
Anyway, I partook in some green substances. last night. Some after the gym.
Some leaves.
Yeah. Some oregano.
Some budding flowers.
Yeah. And after my shower, I
love
which, by the way, the shower was immaculate.
I gotta imagine, yeah.
You ever just stand and let the water hit your face?
Yeah. I do when I'm like really depressed. So like this week that really hit home.
Yeah. But after the shower, I was like, I could use a trim. And I realized, like, since I first cut my hair, I've gotten really confident with it. And with that, I've also gotten a lot sloppier. Combine that with me being in a certain headspace.
Yeah.
You know.
I
don't think it turned out bad. You know.
I think it looks pretty normal.
It looks, yeah, that's the goal, not to really be able to tell. So, it's also just really hard to mess up when you're as perfect as I am.
Yeah, for sure.
So
you're really like struggling from success right now. You know, it's just it's a real struggle.
Yeah, no. I can't imagine ever making a mistake.
Yeah.
Or having a bad haircut.
You know, that really is kind of like a barrier for you. You know, not being able to make mistakes. You know, not being able to like suffer through the product of your own failures.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't imagine going through that, and I'm really sorry for you.
Mm-hmm. The only suffering I do is whenever people are venting to me because I'm such an empath.
Yeah.
And I'm unbelievably humble.
Yeah.
Like, more than you could even fathom, you dipshit.
Yeah, for sure. No, I completely understand. Like, as somebody that isn't, you know, I've
humble?
talked to people.
That isn't humble?
All of the above, you know.
Cool.
Humble, empathetic, I mean, all of that.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't imagine how hard that is to, you know, have that patience and that care for people.
It's really a burden.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't understand. You'd probably collapse under the pressure of being me.
No, 100%.
Most people would. So, at the end of the day, just remember this. I pity you.
I appreciate that.
And you should.
Of course. When do we kiss?
Because
that was really cool.
Calling it cool of all things.
that was really sick, actually. You trying to make out?
It's pretty dope. You trying to kiss right now?
What a weird way to... that's actually how all my conversations with men go.
Glad we can work this out. You want to get in?
We should like kiss right now. Yeah. That movie was cool. Smile
And that...
you trying to kiss right now?
Fucking petrified.
I think after that last scene, like any sort of mouth...
no.
I did end up going back and like watching a TikTok.
Spoiler.
So,
alert.
Yeah. So we went and saw Smile this weekend. You saw it earlier, right? Like you saw it a week before?
Yeah. Fuzzy on the details, even as of now, but... Yeah.
I went and rewatched that last scene through like TikToks because there's no pictures on the internet.
I tried to find it too, and I was like, oh wow, he's right. No, that's...
Because like even when Men came out, the big thing that I did feel like visually and like...
He's talking about a movie, not just men in general.
Yeah. When Men came out. When the movie Men came out, which that movie did remind me visually a lot of this movie. Like they were very similarly shot in certain points.
Okay.
They kind of had some cool like artistic cues that they both kind of had. But especially just that last sequence in the way that they used like the gory figure.
Sure.
Really reminded me of Men. But Men, I think the stark difference was that with Men, I didn't feel like horror. I was watching that and it was like this very gory, like you were kind of like cringing because you're just like, like what's happening right now?
There is a really gory movie out called Terrifier 2, and I want to see that.
But specifically with Men, it wasn't like scary gore or even like gross out gore. it was like artistic and symbolic through like a lot of like I know that there was like a lot of Christian hints throughout the movie, so a lot of the different male characters kind of represent different I guess like the whole there was like this whole comparison of like Adam and Eve and all that throughout the whole thing. It's like the men and woman thing. It's really hard to die if you haven't seen the ending of Men. If you're not going to watch the movie, go Google it, because it was just a trip. The difference with Smile, though, is that although visually the way it was shot and the way it kind of like the sequence unfolded, it very like much reminded me of that. That final figure of seeing, again, spoiler warning, the demon that is manifested as her mom, but kind of like dysmorphed and whatnot. Like
melted.
It rips its face off from the mouth, and it's just like gore face, like little beady eyes, and like I think it was like 2 jaws that like drop down underneath.
Unhinged jaws.
Yeah, unhinged jaws, and it just like it sits there for a solid like 5 seconds in that pose.
Yeah, it just lets you take it in.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it really got me. Like, it was like horror. Because right before this, you see her like collapse and like succumb to this demon. Like, she kind of just like had to give up.
Yeah.
And knowing that that's her just sitting there petrified, knowing her fate, and then you see what the fate is.
Yeah.
And then you see the awful visual of the demon like entering her body and whatnot. That one genuinely got me. Like, jump scares don't really get me that bad.
Yeah.
It's not the jump scare that gets me. I think it was like just that.
Because I think something about it like being very physical in the sense that you see something like entering her mouth, like in her jaws, like, as opposed to like a ghostly spirit like
Just
sucking into her body as she like shakes or something. Like that, some exorcist shit. Like, no, something about it just like fully going through the mouth and just
gore. Yeah.
That was that was really effective.
Yeah.
You know. Even in my state of mind, I was still like, damn. I was like, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cannot be good for the dental.
No, I was genuinely thrown off by that movie. I was surprised that it got me as bad as it did. How's it going? And because at first I kind of mentioned to you that like it reminded me of what's it called? Truth or Dare. Yeah.
Yeah. Just in terms of marketing.
Yeah, because with Truth or Dare, like you saw people would get like possessed by something, and then they'd be like Truth or Dare, and then they'd like have to smile.
Face, their little dream troll face.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh, we got to talk about more on him in a second, but I kind of like was, because I hated that movie so much. I assumed that Smile was somewhat related.
Yeah.
And I think I went in with low expectations for that reason. Smile was good.
Right. No, it was like a really solid horror movie. It balanced like the thriller aspects well. Like, the jump scares were effective. Visually, it was shot very well.
Yeah.
You know? Like, when I put out a little review of it like 2 weeks ago, without trying to spoil it, like the plot wise, I was saying how it was kind of a basic plot but still executed well.
Yeah.
Like, curse going around, main character gets the curse, trying to figure out how to stop it, you know. But I think it was done in a way that like still was able to keep me on edge.
Yeah. I think my biggest concern is that they left it off at a point where if they want to, they could do another movie, like a sequel, because
Yeah.
you know, you think that she's about to kill the demon, and turns out, you know, Thanos with the reality stone.
Yeah,
like,
the fake out, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, she dies in the end. and it gets passed on to her love interest, and that makes me think that it wouldn't follow him the next time, but it would follow somebody else.
What
The
if
only
multiple people witness it?
Yeah, right. So
Does it
just
like
mass spread event?
exponentially?
Yeah. But that's what I was going to get into about a sequel, is that without having to copy the movie premise entirely, I feel like with another movie they would have to get into like explaining how the demon works or how it came about and all that kind of stuff, and I think that that's where it could get muddy and weird.
Smile origins.
Yeah, like I don't think we need to know like an origin story, and I think that that's why some of these more basic plots work better, because you don't have to over-explain the weird paranormal shit.
Yeah, it's easier to just go with it.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. I think they don't need a sequel at all. Like, they left it open-ended, maybe for the sake of just leaving it open-ended.
I hope so.
I would hope, yeah. But knowing
I just think like it's
Hollywood and I'm pretty sure it's been successful.
It's a successful movie by Universal, who has, hundreds and hundreds of big franchise type movies.
It's not unlikely that there is going to be a sequel, and I don't know if I'll watch that.
Yeah.
Because part of the charm, at least for me watching it, was going in, for the most part, blind.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It'll make a great Halloween Horror Nights house.
That's very true.
So.
But, what was I going to say? The cat.
Yeah. The cat scene got me bad. I was hoping that was one of the fake outs again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, and I'm waiting for it to switch back. And then when she's in the hospital with the cuts on her arm, I'm like, that really happened. No.
This fucking child holding up her deceased cat.
Yeah.
That was wrapped up all pretty like a present. And then she's trying to go around like, trust me guys, I'm fine. And then falls through a glass table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was so much about that scene that just like... Yeah. I think the real horror of that scene was that it wasn't a fake out.
Yeah.
Like, how she had to, like, figure out how to live with what just happened.
Yeah.
Because that's one of those scenes in a movie where you do feel like you would just see it and it'd be like a...
It's a nightmare.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
He's about to open your gift.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a nightmare vision or something, yeah.
Yeah.
But no.
It's a worst case scenario. And it actually happened to her.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
I thought they were going to kill A-Train.
Low key. Yeah. I thought it was fitting that he was like the quote unquote fast lover, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I mean that symbolically, because she was talking about how the other guy she had a thing for, but it didn't work out because she couldn't really commit, or she had an issue like trusting and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And that's why she went with a guy who wouldn't dig into her past and wouldn't dig into her issues. He was the fast fashion boyfriend, if that makes sense.
Okay.
The boyfriend that...
Yeah. But I watched it. I watched the movie with Trey was there, and so when A-Train popped up the first time, Trey, he was like, "Yo, oh, he's gonna die." I couldn't help but laugh. And so when he didn't, I was like, "Sick! They subverted expectations. They didn't kill the they didn't kill the black guy.
Yeah,
perfect."
No, that was good too.
Yeah. I really thought they were gonna go down that path. Like, this really is truth or dare.
Damn it.
But yeah, solid shit. Solid movie. What else happened?
So I did mention a second ago about Dream. We talked about him.
Oh yeah, this was news to me. Like,
so
20 minutes ago.
Last week we made comments about his face reveal. I don't want to spend more than 5 minutes on this. People have been dragging him on Twitter ever since that moment, and rightfully so, because I think it was interesting to see how his fans just overly hyped it, and I don't think the people on Twitter are going to subvert their fans' mind, because I think that's the problem, is that he has one of those like weirdly big followings.
Yeah.
I think there was like a bug on my sunglasses.
It was on your finger. It was like crawling up.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. But it's only gonna make the fans double down because they don't want to feel like they wasted their time hyping this man.
Yeah. So right after the face reveal, I saw like a slew of videos talking about how he had said racist comments and all that kind of stuff, or he was a racist. But I didn't really see any specifics. And then after that, people started calling him the pedophile, groomer, and we started getting evidence of both of these things. And now there's like a whole rumor that he got jumped at TwitchCon. Don't know if that's true.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying that he did something or fell in his sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know about that. Don't really care either way.
How often do you get black eyes from anything but getting striked?
He had like a cut on the side of his face, and like the other eye was completely like bandaged.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
This must have been a gnarly fall.
right? Yeah, like did he fall onto knives? Like, I don't see what would have happened. And you start to see some of his comments, like from the Dream SMP server, where he was saying, 16 is the age of consent in the UK, and
Bro, you live in Florida.
actually in Florida, I think it's the same way to some extent. It's weird.
Pretty sure he does live in Florida though. So
yeah, there's a weird consent law in Florida. I think there's a bug on the lens now.
oh my God, yeah.
What's up if y'all can see him? Say what's up to the homie.
Anyway.
Okay, there we go.
To the camera.
Imagine it just
gnarly.
gets back on and then it's like
Dead
in the
center,
middle. Yeah. But yeah, he said some funky comments. People were pulling up old comments where he was he was defending Notch. If you know your Minecraft lore, he was the creator. Mm-hmm. A very well-known anti-Semite. And there was like a comment that he had made on like the description of a YouTube video, and he was like, PewDiePie's not actually a racist. Notch wouldn't approve, or something like that. Or he said it in the context of like, I can't believe PewDiePie's not actually a racist. Notch wouldn't approve, and it kind of like sounded like he was trying to play into the joke, and it was weird. Again, my problem is I don't want to care. I think Twitter just like shoves it in my face sometimes. In multiple ways.
Oh my God.
But it just, I do find it funny to just think like this dude just showed his face, and like this was like probably the biggest bump in views for him in a while. Mm-hmm. And then immediately after, people are like, oh yeah, by the way, he's a bigot. He's an awful person. He has no morals. He has no rules.
Yeah, it's interesting because I've heard these rumors for a while, but now they're getting a decent amount of traction.
I think he has the protections of like a Minecraft YouTuber, because
there's a certain connotation that comes with being a Minecraft YouTuber nowadays.
Yeah.
So, and considering the allegations, he kind of fits right in. So,
but the problem is like that still kind of fits within a specific context of like internet culture that point out that is a known trend.
Yeah.
But I think that there are a lot of people who still let their kids watch things, and they don't really question it because it still has such a friendly or like family friendly face to it.
Yeah.
So like they're like, oh, my kid's watching their Minecraft videos, just like they would think about like Cocomelon or something. And they're not thinking about like, because even that dude Blippi or whatever was like a kid's YouTuber, and his brand seemed super safe. But then all these parents got upset because like 10 years ago he made a Harlem Shake video where he was like projectile shitting all over a bathroom. Sauce. Source?
You've been on Reddit too.
Yeah. Sauce. You know that kind of like brain rot is like spreading to TikTok. Like there will be times where like,
oh no,
I'll see somebody make a joke about somebody getting their shit dropped or whatever. And immediately like somebody's like link, source,
yeah.
Sauce. I've seen the word sauce in a TikTok comment section, and I'm like,
bro,
get off the app.
Yeah.
Get off the app now.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk TikTok pet peeves? The worst pet peeve that I have on TikTok is when you're watching one that is in reference to another one, and you don't get the context. You see other people in the comments don't get the context.
But then nobody leaves a link.
You see one person be like, "Oh, oh my God, yada yada yada," like they get it, and then all the comments are like, "Tag me, tag me, tag me." Post the @ instead
Yeah.
of having them go to that video and tag you. Post the @
Yeah.
That's
It's so I appreciate that. Like now at the top, it'll say like, check this search.
Yeah.
And sometimes that helps.
Uh-huh.
But big keyword is sometimes, because then there'll be sometimes where that just doesn't do anything. I think I saw one specifically where it was like about a girl trying to draw black hair, and she was being super dramatic, and she was like, "It only took me 16 years to figure out how to draw black hair," and da 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 da. And the comment said something like kind of out of pocket. And I guess it was in reference to another girl who had made a similar video, and it was like it had some weird like racist connotation to it.
Okay.
And I had the same problem where I was like, I gotta figure out what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah. Actually, you know what's worse about it is when the person who made the initial comment was replying to the people who asked for the tag.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Okay, tagged you. Okay, tagged you," to like 20 different people. Why don't you just put it in the fucking? Why don't you just respond with that? Yeah.
Like it's different if somebody deleted their account, which is very unlikely.
Yeah.
But like most of the time they're not gonna delete their account. So if you just drop the @ we can find the video. Even then, if they deleted the video, there's probably other videos.
Yeah. Like, why are you dragging it out?
Yeah.
Why are you
dragging it out?
Yeah.
You're making it so much more complicated.
Yeah.
Tag me.
Yeah.
No.
Are you in it for the replies?
Literally.
That doesn't mean anything. Just do what's right for the people.
It's supposed to be about community, and we're not building community this way, okay?
I'm gonna tag your mom.
I'm gonna tag your dad.
Oh my God. Oh.
This is great.
Yeah. You know, this is really dope.
Yeah, this is really cool. You trying to kiss?
Yes. I checked my notes. I forgot I wrote this down. I wrote down root beer fingers.
Okay.
Did you not see that in the hot topics?
I did see it, but I needed context.
Cool. Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is like a story or something. I don't know.
It is a story, and I was looking at it while you were talking, and in my head I was thinking, what the fuck could this mean? Because I forgot for a second.
You should have root beer fingers.
Yeah. And what's great is like it says the last time I edited it is like 3:16 a.m.
Yeah.
I just wrote down root beer fingers, but yeah, root beer fingers.
Okay. Saying it twice definitely helped.
Yeah. So at work we have a what is it called? A freestyle Coke machine.
Yeah.
And is it Barks? I guess. Is that the name of the root beer? BARQ.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought it was Bangs for the longest time. But
is it not Bangs?
It's Barks. BARQ. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, this is a Mandela effect if I've ever seen one.
It was never Bangs. Bangs an energy drink.
You're right.
Yeah.
I only ever think of like Mug or like A&W. Yeah.
But we have Barks, and it was out, so I have to replace the cartridges with the syrup. Mm-hmm. And the syrup is very like potent, and
but that shit smells
dark.
and feels like barbecue sauce.
It does. It's fucking crazy. But like, so I replace it, and I go on about like taking more orders. The first order I do was they paid with card, and I'm like, okay, good. Next order is with cash. Okay. So I put my hand out to grab the cash, and there is like brown dye all over my middle finger. So I take my hand away, put out the other hand, and go on about the transaction, I guess. And I'm pretty sure they saw for a split second because they were like grinning as I was like getting their change. And all I could think about was, oh my god,
Dookie
they think I
fingers.
dookie fingered.
Dookie finger.
They must thought I just dug for gold, and I
Yeah.
just dug for gold.
Bro was mining.
Yeah.
Mine shaft.
They were mining in my shaft.
Yes.
But
Speaking of which, we need to like become Minecraft YouTubers. I heard there's good real estate there now.
there's a power vacuum that we can fill.
Right. Collin and Devin Gaming coming real soon.
But yeah, they definitely saw, and I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
So, and it was like dry, so it wouldn't come off either. So like, I was able to get majority off, but it was still like on my fingernails and stuff. So that looks
like,
even
dirty
worse.
nails, yeah.
Yeah, that
That's
looks
gross.
to an extent like, yeah, it was terrible. But after a few good washes in a row, I was able to get it off. Like after every exchange, I would go over to the sink, just try to get a little more.
Yeah.
Eventually I did, but that was one of the more traumatic experiences I've had
Damn.
in a good while. Oh, actually, as far as traumatic experiences go, I've been having like I think work is consuming me, but
Yeah.
but like
It kind of tends to do that, capitalism, all that, whatnot.
Oh, for sure. That's another discussion for another time. But I've been having like a recurring Chick-fil-A nightmare. For those who don't know, I used to work at Chick-fil-A back of house, so like in the kitchen and stuff. And I've been having this recurring nightmare where I'm back at work, but the kitchen layout is new every time, and I don't know where anything is. So I have people yelling at me while I'm trying to get stuff, and I don't know where to find it. And it is the most stressful, like 30 seconds I endure every night.
Jeez. I remember like working and having nightmares about my job, and that is like the weirdest, most dystopian thought now to me, because I haven't had to experience that in a while.
Yeah.
Like I really hit a point where I don't have dreams for real.
Yeah.
I think that's bad. I think like if you don't dream or don't remember your dreams, you generally are having bad sleep.
Well, good to know I've been having decent sleep, but
Yeah.
at what cost?
You've been sleeping good, but thinking about bad
Yeah,
shit.
at what cost?
Yeah.
It's especially alarming because I haven't worked at Chick-fil-A in over a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like, and it's still like ingrained in my
That
head.
thought of just being like, it's like PTSD.
It really is. It's
I had the same thing where like
Chick-fil-A does that to people. Like you see how nice your servers are and stuff. They're suffering on the inside, and the people who are making your food, they're suffering just as much, if not more.
Yeah.
So, not just at Chick-fil-A, but everywhere, be nice to the people who make your food.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You know what's more traumatic than work stories and
your
nightmares?
haircut? No.
No. I was gonna say cancer. I hope you feel bad. Your privilege is showing.
Like, why is the zodiac sign so bad? Like,
Yeah, I couldn't imagine being born in June. Like, that's
Yeah.
awful. Goofy.
June
My sister,
babies?
if my sister sees this, she'll probably kill me.
she's a Cancer?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not for making fun of cancers, but I'm sorry because I pity you.
Yeah. Because you're such an empath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not a Sagittarius, you're wrong.
Dude, wasn't that guy on TikTok or Musically?
What?
Jacob Sartorius.
Oh.
That's you for real.
Sweatshirt or whatever you're saying.
Yuck.
Yeah.
We're cutting away from that.
Oh, please.
Without spending too much time, because we spent so long last time, I just want to briefly mention updates on Kanye. So if we thought the DEF CON 2 on Jewish people.
I thought it was 3.
Oh, 3. See,
Not like that makes a difference.
Last time I said DEFCON 2, or I think I said DEFCON 3, and now I'm saying DEFCON 2. I can't get this shit right for the life of me.
Yeah.
But either way.
Yeah. I don't think it makes much of a difference.
Yeah.
It's...
If we thought that the anti-Semitic stuff wasn't enough.
Now he's putting money behind it.
Yes. So he bought the right-wing platform Parler, which honestly, I've been really tempted to get just to see if anybody posts like leftist stuff on there.
Yeah.
Because I think it would be
for free speech, why can't I say something?
Because I think that's the whole problem is most of the time they do ban or kind of suppress leftist ideology, and then they're like, oh, but it's the free speech platform. It's free speech for the right.
Yeah.
So it's not really creating an open platform for free speech. It's creating a separate echo chamber compared to what they are considering the leftist echo chamber that is Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like...
And to consider Twitter as a leftist echo chamber...
is crazy.
Is fucking insane.
Yeah. There was something that I saw where they were talking about, like, the American political system. Like, if down the middle, if this table is the dead center of political ideology, right? This is the American right. This is the liberals.
Yeah.
This is the leftists.
Yeah.
Like, maybe best line. Maybe.
Yeah.
So it's like when you say that that Twitter is leftist or liberal propaganda and da-da-da-da-da, you are still talking about people who are right here.
Yeah.
Right here. Like, they are not...
they don't really understand the scope or the scale of where they actually
They said,
fall.
like, yo, this chart, we gotta go past that. We gotta go past.
You fucking broke the graph.
We had to actually make the graph bigger.
Yeah. You somehow were able to, like, exceed expectations and become more bigoted.
Right. He bought Parler, and then he went on Drink Champs, which, shout out to them, because I don't know how they do so much dick riding for this man. They generally do try to call him on things that he says that are funky, but they know that they have Kanye West on their show.
Yeah.
So they just let it slide and let him talk.
Yeah.
To some extent, I think that's good, but to some extent, they don't do it in like an Andrew Callahan type of way, where they're
To some
like...
extent is your favorite phrase.
Yeah, no, I have so many good like filler words.
Yeah.
To some extent, because I'll never say anything definitively.
Yeah.
I'm just like, sometimes...
That's how you save
maybe-
your own ass, yeah.
Right, yeah. When it comes out in like a few years and they're like, hey, remember when you said this? I'll be like, hey, look, I said sometimes.
Yeah.
On occasion.
Yeah. This is not one of those times if it keeps me out of trouble.
Right, yeah. It's not like an Andrew Callahan, Channel 5 type thing where he lets people talk and he's not really feeding back into it.
Sure.
Sometimes they feed back into it, or they'll kind of try to... they'll do the thing where they're like trying to get him to talk more by like being buddy with him. And sometimes that seems like they're co-signing or, not totally disregarding what he's saying.
Yeah.
And at times I found that kind of annoying throughout both, or I guess all 3 of the interviews that he had done.
You did 3 of them things?
Yeah.
Damn.
He did 2, but they were kind of like back to back. Like,
Okay.
I think they may have been even recorded in the same day, and then they just dropped them
Sure.
bi-weekly.
Like a part 1, part 2.
Yeah. And, he's full swing, hanging out with Candace Owens and all that. So he's just going for a different audience. He's complete career switch. He's grifting to a different group.
I guess him and Nicki Minaj are just...
You gotta get Monster Part 2, but it's just them, and they're talking about...
how much they hate Jews.
Right, yeah. No, Nicki would talk about how she loves her sex offender husband. I think she said that like on live TV or something, and people were making memes about it.
I love my sex offender husband?
I don't know what the exact quote was, but I guess that it was at like maybe one of the award shows. She had said like, my husband is a sex offender or something like that. But Can you go ahead and look
on a
that up?
t-shirt.
JB, can you look that up for me? Real quick?
Okay.
But for clarity, her husband is a sex
Nicki
offender.
Minaj, my husband is a sex offender.
He, I think he was supposed to go to one of these award shows like a few years ago, and he wasn't allowed to because it was like close to a Chuck E. Cheese or something. Like the stadium was like a mile away from a Chuck E. Cheese.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was something weird, and she tried to blame it on something else. And then people were talking about like, she wants to have a baby with him, and he's like, "Oh, trust me, he wants the baby too." And it's like, yeah.
Nothing about an award show thing, or at least with what I looked up.
It may not be a award show, but I think she said it somewhere in public. If I am completely wrong, scratch all of this. This was all satire.
Yeah, to an extent.
To an extent.
Yeah.
But what else?
I think I'm committing to an Edward Scissorhand Halloween costume.
Oh,
I
sick.
just don't know where I'm gonna use it.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not going trick or treating.
I'm sure that there will probably be like little Halloween parties or something.
Yeah.
Like, see if you can tag along to some with me.
Hard.
Me and Meg are doing Austin Powers and a fembot.
Oh, you're gonna look great as a fembot.
I know, right? I even bought like the little pink slippers and stuff.
Sick.
Yeah.
But I think what drew me into that costume, aside from like being able to get creative with the hair, was a lot of the pieces. I bought like a white button up, so I could just use this for another time. I got suspenders. I
Right.
could just use that for another time. I'm gonna look drippy as fuck. I got a black turtleneck. I'm gonna look drippy.
Right.
Like,
Drippy, grippy, all that.
yeah. I bought knives, and
I could use that later.
every single piece I have
Exactly.
can be put to later use. So
My dilemma is I thought that my hair was going to be good for the Austin Powers thing because it would be like a cool Austin Powers.
Sure.
Because I would have my actual haircut that I like.
yeah.
Oh
no.
That's gone now.
Well, I still have
My old wig.
the wig of your hair. So if you want to put that on,
That may need to happen.
I honestly think if you put that wig on, it's not gonna look that different.
It will, but it's just, it may not look any worse. Is the point?
That's fair. I guess the curls are pretty tight on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it'll still work. I'll think about it. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
And
I'll
then,
slide it.
I need to get. I'm thinking about doing what you're talking about, where like, I'm thinking maybe I could try to find like a blue suit on sale,
Right.
and then that's something that I could wear later.
Pieces that isn't just a one-time use.
I could wear like the blue dress pants. If I want the jacket, I could swap that out with another pant at some point.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of those TikToks where it was like Steve Harvey talking about fucking suits. He's like, all you need is 5 suits and 3 shirts.
Yeah.
You need a white, a cream, and a black, or
Or it
something
was
like
the
that.
pants. Or yeah.
And then the suits, he was like, you need gray, khaki, blue, gray,
Gray.
and black.
Blue. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you have those 5, you can put any of the shirts with any of the pants, any of the pants with any of the jackets, any of the jackets with any of the shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have like 85 different suits or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a bad like set of advice just for like formal wear.
No.
My only problem with it is that I don't really wear formal wear. But it's nice when you have an occasion where I don't have to just wear the one black suit that I have.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
kind of pointless.
Like, if you take one look at me, you can probably assume I'm not going anywhere
Yeah.
fancy.
We're very
I don't
casual guys.
I don't scream high class.
I mean, we're very, laid back, casual.
Yeah.
I don't really
Do
think.
you see what's on his head? No.
Right.
Or I guess what's not on his head.
Man, you don't have to bring it up. But I do. That's also why I'm thinking about just trying to go find one at a thrift. If I can just find like a navy blue suit jacket, I could possibly just like match it with some blue Dickies that I have.
Right.
And just make it work. Because then I'm trying to find one of those like white ruffled like shirts, like dress shirts that have like all the weird ruffly shit. Because that goes with his whole thing, but those you generally have to buy in costume. Like you can't just
Yeah, no.
go to a dress shop And like, you're not gonna go up to Men's Warehouse and find that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm gonna find it at Thrift either.
Austin Powers is drippy as fuck. Like,
Right. You got that custom 101.
I'm saying.
I mean, to be fair, it's because his whole wardrobe is literally from like a different time period. So he was having drippy shit, or maybe it was average back then. But then when he gets pulled forward in time, that's when it gets funky. He kind of had like a Captain America arc.
Yeah.
So
if you think of clothes as like investments, like waiting 40 years for it to come back in style,
right,
be fire.
I low-key am into that though. Mm-hmm. I think that's why thrifting became so cool, is that you could find older stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the problem with people throwing like random old shit or like Target clothes to the thrift, because then the thrift just becomes a Target but cheaper.
Yeah.
You know, that's not really the best argument I can make, because in reality, the good thing about that is that like people who don't want to spend full price on even at Target, they can get it for cheaper. So that, you know, that's always like a net positive. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining too much.
Sure.
Saving my ass, you know.
Yeah.
Doing what
I mean, you know, to an extent.
On occasion.
Yeah.
To play
maybe,
devil's
maybe
advocate.
not. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
As soon as I said that, somebody just was like, "Oh, here it is."
Yeah. Clip that.
Yeah. To whoever it is in 2035 that is looking back on stuff from me, I promise.
I like the idea of us actually being relevant enough to have someone in 2035.
I feel like if I'm relevant in 2035, it's because I'm running for office.
For the Green Party.
Yes. Oh, did you see the
No.
independent party guy that as a way to market his campaign, he said he's going to release his own sex tape?
I did not, but where do I link? Sauce.
No, yeah. I didn't try to look for it, but
What are we even talking for it?
I tried to see if it was real. And
you went on Reddit.
Basically what happened was he linked up with a porn star. I don't know her name. And he's a third-party candidate, and he said that he is committed to defending sex work as work, which is a good cause.
Yeah.
His way of doing so was releasing his own sex tape, and he said that saying that you support something isn't doing enough. It's not doing the work.
So
he said he's going to do the work.
That's a crazy way to get laid.
No, immediately people were just like, this motherfucker, when he heard about this idea, he said, "Hey, I'm walking away with something." I'm walking away with something.
That's wild. What's his name? I need to find.
I think it was like Mike Ickes or something like that. It was a weird name.
Mike Ickes. Mike. Fuck. My phone's fucking up. What should I should just look up
Mike, I think ITKIS.
Mike ITK.
I may be completely wrong, but I remember being a funky one.
NY man released a sex tape for his congressional campaign. Wow. Good on you, Mike.
And you know what's crazy? I think that if this was like 10 years ago, most scandalous thing ever. Weirdest thing ever.
Ooh, watch. Sorry, what?
But like right now, I feel like we're at a point where we see that and we're like, yeah, it's just another day. That's weird, but like that's crazy. I definitely don't think he'll win, because I think that that'll throw voters off so much.
Your Apple iPhone has been hacked. All operations. Cool.
Nice. You actually clicked on a link.
Yup.
I think that he's just way too ahead of his time.
Yeah.
I think if
The
you
world is not ready.
give it
for
another
Mike
10
Ickes.
years, and that may be a banger campaign.
Yeah.
Literally.
Bang something campaign.
Because I do think that that's an important message to spread, that I think that we like try to dehumanize sex workers as if what they're doing isn't work. Yeah. As much as we want to pretend that it's weird and da-da-da-da-da, people are watching it and they make a shit ton of money.
And sex work has been around.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah.
I just think that it's like, I don't know, there's something weird about the way that we like stigmatize it as making it as weird as it is when it's so heavily consumed.
Or very taboo.
I feel like it's one of those things where also, very early on, Pornhub was known for like having really good analytics and data, and they would like spread that and share that and show kind of what the market had.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it was a lot of conservative areas that had the most view time and the most like specific kinks or whatever that were in focus in those areas. So it's like there are people who are watching it and do have very adventurous ideas, but then they are also actively, I don't know if it's because they're just being like the useful idiot and that's like the effect of it is that,
Sure.
they're being told like this thing is bad, da 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 da, and they go spread that, but then really they're being a hypocrite. Or if it's just that like, I don't know. It's just a weird thought that people who tend to use it the most in some of the more taboo ways are the ones that want to make it so taboo.
Right.
So
Wait, what are we at right now?
we're at 51 minutes.
Okay.
So I'd say that we could probably take it another topic or two. You
Okay.
want to debate about something? This feels
I was
like
gonna
a very
say we could end on that, but I did have. Did you? Probably not, but like there was a clip of like a Steve Lacy concert.
No, but you did tell me about this, or you put that in the comments.
I put that in pod notes. It was just a clip of Steve Lacy singing "Bad Habit," the crowd singing along, and as soon as where the viral part ends, no one sings the second verse. It was the "It's Biscuits, It's Gravy." No one sang that part, and arguably that's like my favorite part of that song.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like how it's just
Yeah.
biscuits is gravy, babe.
Yeah. Bad habit. Silence. And Steve was putting up the mic to the crowd. He was like,
You found what you know.
and
Because
like,
he also generally has pretty small crowds, right? So is it just
Yeah.
like a small room?
pretty sure, like
smaller.
the angle that I saw it from was like pretty close to him in the first place, so it's not like you could see everything.
Yeah, fair.
But it didn't sound like a huge venue or anything. But once it
that's-
went quiet, he was like, "Y'all gonna keep going or something?" No one kept going, and it made me feel really bad. But
I think that's the problem with like TikTok sounds.
that's what I was gonna get at. Yeah.
It's, I think, hard to expect people to enjoy like longer, because with other entertainment we have short-term content, you have long-form content, you maybe have some stuff in the middle with YouTube. With music, it is very much like shorter the better.
Yeah. But my thing with this instance in particular is, like, it's kind of a thing now how hard it is to get tickets to see Steve Lacy.
Yeah.
And, like, it was like a sea of just, like, white girls. And, like, a lot of the comments I've seen relating to that instance have been like, I've been listening to him for years, and he has this one song, like, finally push his success where it deserves to be, and now all these fans are getting to see him. I was like, yeah, it's a pretty disappointing thing, but like, I think with TikTok, like, actually, you know how you like YouTube comments are like kind of a cesspool
Yeah.
in relation to music.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one that was kind of funny, and to an extent, and it was like, people used to know the artist, and then they knew the and then a little later they only know the album. Then later they only know the song. Now they only know a verse,
Yeah.
and it's due to how like short form like content has completely taken over, and Steve is like a big example of like how that's suffering.
Mm.
Like, and people who have like songs that blow up on TikTok, you check their Spotify or whatever, you see like millions of plays on this. Next song, 500,000 or something, some shit like that.
Yeah.
And, I don't know.
That's what I think about like somebody like Eam Triplin. like somebody who's getting big
Yeah.
and has like a pretty big internet following.
Yeah. And then
But
at
then-
Rolling Loud, he had like.
The Rolling Loud obviously was kind of an awkward performance.
Yeah.
I thought that he played it off well, obviously, but it is true to some extent to say, like, how many of those internet fans will actually show up, especially when there's a bigger marquee card.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, to be fair, that's just part of growth as an artist. Like, no matter if TikTok was at play or not, if you're going to Rolling Loud, you kind of have to make your choices.
Yeah.
But with Team Triplin, too, it's like a lot of his songs, I go back and listen to them, and I'm like, I like this.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, I'm like, and I said, fuck it. And then after that, it's just background. Like, it doesn't.
Because when it gets to that one part that you hear over and over and over, because it's a sound
Yeah.
on TikTok,
You can be my bitch again.
it's not surprising that that specific part is ingrained in your fucking head.
Yeah.
And then everything else, like you said, is background noise.
Yeah.
It might as well be static.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not really his fault.
Static,
'cause
another good Steve Lacy song. Sorry.
Nice. It just, yeah, I think that if you don't put the time into it, you're just like, oh yeah, like I got tickets to see this one guy where I like know that one sound or whatever.
Uh-huh.
That's how it felt at the Don Toliver concert too.
Buying tickets to support someone and watch them perform for a 10-second clip to post on your story or to get a cool Be Real.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That, especially like with how exclusive those tickets are, that's saddening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think I talked about earlier on the podcast, like I think not a few episodes ago, but like several months ago, about that Don Toliver concert.
Yeah.
And when I went, I mean,
Okay, I pull up.
it was relatively dead the whole time, minus some, frat white dudes
Yeah.
that were just like wasted trying to mosh to Don Toliver.
Yeah.
Weirdest shit ever. I'm sorry, that's like, if I see somebody like moshing at a Joji concert, that's fucking stupid. There was like a clip.
I moshed to Earl Sweatshirt. No.
Yeah, no, there was a clip where people were trying to mosh to like some songs off Feet of Clay. It was the one with the fucking, oh my god, how do I forget the song's name? But it's the one with like the elephant trunk in the background.
I don't know about you, but I moshed to Phoebe Bridgers.
Right, yeah. Dude, I love moshing when like at the Q concerts, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But
You haven't lived till you got punched in the face listening to Lana Del Rey.
no. But it just like it was relatively dead the whole time, and then it got to like off the junk, recording got me tripping.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody was jumping for that, I'm sure.
And then when it got to like the other verses, like even on
Back on the phone.
even when they're playing out loud the Uzi verse or whatever, dead.
God.
Like what was the other one? Like you said, okay, I pull up.
Yeah.
That was it.
My God.
It was crazy. I remember even the friends that I went with, they were just like, yeah, this shit's kind of lame. I'm like, this is cool.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting to see Don Toliver like up close.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool. I have some banger photos from that too.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the Denzel show to some extent. A Denzel show though, he has like a really solid following and fan base though.
I was going to say, yeah. His don't seem bad.
It was more the openers. Like Red Veil
Sure.
was there, and he is another one of those guys with TikTok following.
Yeah.
And
I like his shit.
yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But the problem is he came after Play That Boy Zay, and he just like, in a good way, sucked the energy out of that room. Everybody was fucking dead after Zay.
Yeah.
Because he was just like a ball of energy, and I don't know what the fuck happened, but he had people moshing. It was jumping like crazy. I was jumping in that bitch. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't move. That was the most athletic thing I've ever done. And once you got to the other guys, I felt bad because they were trying to get that same energy, and I'm
Right.
like, you really have to understand, like, when that crowd was dead, you need to play off of that and play like some of your smooth hits, get them to calm down, and then when Denzel comes out,
Yeah.
he's gonna have the hype. You don't need the clip of you with the hype crowd if you can also show that you have like the softer side. You know, I got the crowd like moving in like a calm way.
Yeah.
If you have them fucking with you without having to jump around, that's just as cool. At least to me, I feel like.
Yeah.
So.
And then boom, Denzel ultimate.
But it was the same thing with Red Veil, where like he was having audio issues, and then people hit the one little TikTok sound, and then quiet.
Oh.
I didn't know a single one of Zay's songs, and I was jumping to all of them.
I mean, credit to Zay then for that. Yeah.
I remember the one he opened with. Like, I remember some of the cadence of it. It's just like, I don't know. I have to figure out what song that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really is interesting how TikTok's had this effect, and you know, people like Drake kind of play into that, and it doesn't really hurt him because he's fucking Drake.
He was around before that and was able to
he still has those longer format bangers where like on the radio you're trying to take up as much space as possible, so having a 5-6 minute song works. You know, people still have that back catalog to go to, and he still gets streams off of that, but now he's doing the 2-minute bangers.
Yeah. Oh.
X was ahead of his time. Remember when everybody bullied him for having ringtones as his last album? People were like, Skins is literally just a ringtone playlist. That is every song now.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that half sarcastically because the album was kind of bad. But
yeah,
partially that wasn't his fault because he kind of like, you know, died.
To an extent.
To an extent.
To an
like
extent,
he's kind of dead. People think he moved to Cuba, so like to an extent he's dead.
Chilling with Tupac.
Yeah.
Do we want to find something to debate? If that is the case, we could cut the camera for a second.
I think we talk about the socioeconomic state of the world. So to play devil's advocate, I don't think that oil lobbying is that bad.
Ladies and gentlemen,
clip that.
We got him.
Look, I'm gonna edit this part out, but like, you know that all of this is performative. Like all of this shit that I'm talking about, like about oil lobbying, like
about you being a leftist.
Yeah, like all that's fake. You thought that this was real? This is all a joke. Says every TikTok
take off the
motherfucker.
bandana, you have like a swastika tattoo on your forehead.
God. That's why I had the hair so long.
You never show the forehead.
Yeah. It's like a cursed Harry Potter. Like,
ew, no. Harry, you're a Nazi.
Yuck. This is all satire.
To an extent.
On occasion.
He does
Sometimes.
actually have a tattoo of a...
No, I do not. See, it used to mean like a symbol of peace. So like, I don't see what the...
I'm just taking it back to its roots.
Right.
Yeah.
If anything, you don't understand the history.
No, yeah, go ahead and dig yourself out of that hole.
Let's see, where are we at? Okay, the camera's still recording? Cool. I mean...
I was going to say, if we want to find something to debate, you could cut the camera for a second and just, like, conserve it.
I mean, we're already at an hour and 5 minutes. What's something that we could, like, debate off the top? Like, let's think. I'm looking dead at you. I want the... You know how we were talking about how they live in the awkwardness and the pain of Smile, that last scene? You know, you just live in the horror by holding it out so long. I want them to feel that right now. I want them to feel the awkwardness of our, like, week-to-week conversations. Our week-to-week process. Did you know that there was, like, a alligator
I'm going
warning
through my
sign?
subreddits, seeing if I can find something.
You know what's crazy is, like, I'm sure that people up north, like, would find it crazy that we have, like, alligator signs. Like, hey, there may be alligators in the lake. Kind of like how they have, like, bear signs and stuff. Like, to me, that's more foreign than an alligator one. Like, the idea that an alligator could just run up here right now is not that crazy to me.
Nah, yeah. I'd survive.
And I think that's just funny. Like, out of context, if there's anybody watching from anywhere else. Like, I wonder if that's like a weird reality to them.
Mm-hmm. Do we want to debate something food related?
Oh my god. Yeah,
Ronnie.
we can. I was gonna say I totally forgot to explain my my hot pot and Korean barbecue experience. But we could debate about food first if we have time. I'll get into that. But basically, I just didn't know what I was doing and embarrassed myself. That's all.
Yeah.
So, what would you want to debate about food?
I don't know. Do you have any hot takes?
Could we do like the podcaster thing where we just like try to make up hot takes that we don't really like fully believe in?
Yeah.
Honestly, water's kind of mid. Like, water's really not that necessary.
Thank you for taking that up so I could be the straight man.
Okay, cool. Like, in reality, like, I don't see what the hype is all about. Like, I drink soda every day. I don't drink water. And I'm still alive. So, why do people drink water? Like,
Dude, you're sick. You need that shit. Like, what are you doing?
I literally live off Baja Blast. Like, and Diet Coke.
Bro, do you piss green? That's crazy.
It's actually more like a red.
And there we have it, guys.
I'm gonna be honest. I think trees are kind of just like an inconvenience. Like, we could totally...
you fucking Lorax.
We could... The Lorax like the trees. You're the Lorax. Old orange shirt, goofy ass, haircut ass. At the end of the episode.
I'm about to end it early.
No, but what I was saying is, like, we could totally put a golf course here and this would look great.
That's the single most caucus thing.
Like, you're telling me that this, like, couldn't be, like, a really nice, like, green plains without all these, like, trees in the way?
You're trying to make this shit into a plains biome?
Yeah. Yo, I'm making a golf course in Minecraft. I'm gonna tear down a village just to do it.
As if there's not hella real estate right next to
just
the village.
do it where the village is. I'm
Also,
actually
making a golf course in
No.
Minecraft is so funny because you just dig one hole down and you're
I want to
in
make
separate spots.
I want to
to
make a capitalist dystopia in Minecraft. I want to see a village, put an interstate right next to it,
turn it into a
build
parking
a
lot.
bigger city on the other side of the interstate with more funding and resources.
Your red light in Minecraft.
And then in order to get to the village, you have to go through a golf course, past the golf course, over a toll road.
Yeah. And nothing's within a reasonable distance of each other.
Nothing.
Nothing is walkable.
No walkable spaces.
Yeah.
Dude, this is actually like my greatest idea. This sounds so fun. This genuinely sounds like so fun.
This is not a bit either.
No, because like in a Minecraft world, there's no like real repercussions, right? Like we already live in this world, so
Yeah.
like if people want to be like, oh, I want to build like a real world in real life. No, you're not. You don't.
No, you don't.
We're doing it for real.
Yeah. I have this really like cool like old timey village that I'm proud of. Everything's walkable. It even has like neighborhoods and stuff.
Nice.
I've taken screenshots and shown you, or put on my story like years ago. I still have it. It was all built in Pocket Edition.
Yeah.
Which
Crazy.
It makes me sound insane.
Yeah. You really need to get like a controller, because it would give you more like screen real estate.
That's fair, but
You
I also
get an
kind of like
Xbox.
it because I'm just like on my bed, just like on my back. You know,
I guess.
it's comfortable.
You can get one of those like Xbox controllers with the little like thing that has the phone stand on it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Or you could get the little like extendo like fake Nintendo Switch thing that attaches.
Yeah. See, I don't want to be single forever. So
Said I don't want to be a virgin.
yeah. I don't want to be re-virgined. You're like,
Buying that actually gives you your virginity back.
I don't want to be virgin squared.
Right, yeah. I will say, speaking of virgins,
Speaking of
I just
virgins.
watched Hocus Pocus 2.
What are you getting at?
Well, the whole thing is like the virgin flame or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And they did
I
big
never
sex-
watched
Hocus
the
Pocus.
first Hocus Pocus, so
It's a bunch of like witch stuff, and that's
Right.
why I didn't think that they would dig into that part of the movie in the second one.
okay.
Meg loves the first one, so that's why we watched it. And I'm gonna be honest, second one, trash as fuck.
I've heard.
And it's not just because it's bad. Like there were parts of it that were,
Yeah.
whatever, cute kids movie, whatever.
When they referenced Salem, that was crazy.
Right. Yeah.
That's dark. That's right.
No, actually, I at points I was like, this is weird for them to dig into.
Uh-huh.
I am no longer going to shit on the Marvel production team for the TV shows looking as bad as they do, because this was a big budget Disney movie and it looked worse than some of the Marvel shows.
Are you sure it was big budget?
I don't think it was.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
it was a Disney movie. We'll say it's a big name, not big budget.
Sure.
It was a big name Disney movie, and there were parts of it that just were so blatantly green screen awful.
Mm-hmm.
There was literally a scene where the blonde witch was swinging on the broom, and it just looked like they took a clip of her with the green screen and just threw a random background in it. Like, it didn't look at all good. It was awful.
Yeah. Actually, now that you mentioned Disney, like, we could probably have a debate about best Disney show
Disney show.
ever. All right, you have an answer?
Disney show. Because are we talking about like sitcom type style, or are we talking cartoon? Are we talking all of them? Because for me personally, if it's
Don't give an answer.
okay,
I think encapsulate all.
okay.
All right, I have an answer. 3. You have one?
I don't know if it's the best, but I will say it's my favorite just growing up.
Sure. That's your way to cop out. Okay.
Yeah, because again, it's like I can't really think back to all of them right now.
Okay, I have an answer. Best Disney show. 3, 2, 1.
Phineas
Wizards
and
of
Ferb.
Waverly Place. Damn, that's a good answer though.
I think they're both pretty solid. I think because I was gonna say that would have been my difference maker between sitcom or the cartoons.
If you were to go sitcom alone, would that be your answer?
It probably would have been, but again, I think it may just be nostalgia. I don't know if it's really all that good. Whereas I think Phineas and Ferb didn't have to stick with a lot of like the format of a sitcom, and sometimes that is like the downfall of these Disney shows. I think that the sitcom format is very repetitive, and
Okay.
the fake applause every time. I think it kind of feels weird at times. Whereas like I think a cartoon.
Don't care. Selena Gomez solos.
Yeah, that's fair. But there are times where I just think that like because it's a cartoon, it kind of has to be more creative with its jokes, because it doesn't have the laugh track to just force people to laugh along with it.
Well, I think with it being animated, it also can
Gives you cartoon humor.
Actually, best animated Disney show. I know you already gave your answer, but give it again. 3, 2, 1.
Big
Gravity
Bird.
Falls. Get fucked. Get fucked.
I think I forget about Gravity Falls because Phineas and Ferb still feels very Disney in the fact that it's just like so lighthearted.
Mm-hmm.
Gravity Falls, I almost forget is Disney product because even as a kid show, it's just so well thought out and so serious with hints of humor.
Yeah. And
It's
their humor is very well executed. I like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would agree with you in the sense that it is the better show per episode. Like the amount of plot that they fit into each episode. Like even on their filler episodes, there's still some level of like character development, all that.
And they were able to wrap it up in a nice, pretty bow in 40 episodes,
Yeah.
21st season, 22nd.
It's very consistent and just compact. And it wasn't just hoard out for hella seasons just to get, because it's a kid's show or
And
whatever.
the fact that it had a full story from beginning to end, like it wasn't like figuring itself out at first. Like,
Yeah.
they had the shit planned from the start.
Whereas I think Phineas and Ferb is one of those things where it is formulaic, but they're allowed to it's a little bit more lighthearted. It doesn't need an overall like thought out plot. It can just have the week to week plot that has its funny jokes and all that kind of stuff.
I mentioned to you how I don't have any tattoos, but like what I was thinking about getting was I know what we're gonna do today,
Nice.
and I think as far as tattoos go, something like a cartoon related quote is something that can last.
I know what we're gonna do today, and either get it above your ass or above your dick.
Where else would I put it?
Neck.
Ooh. First tattoo on your neck, that's
Nah, it's pretty wild.
hard.
I'm gonna be honest, just the chest one,
Just
kinda
like the
fucked with me.
goozle, just like
No, honestly, I think neck tattoos are so cool. But the thought of getting one,
I could never.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I had that in me to like go get a neck tattoo.
It's like the constant stabbing. Just
I
mean,
think
it
I'd
doesn't
have
even
to
be
do one
here,
of
but,
those like pseudo ones where it's like maybe up the side of the neck or like just down below. Because if it hit the Adam's apple, I'd pass out. Done.
Yeah, no. They would have to put me under.
Yeah.
But what would you get?
I don't know. I really
Dragon.
want to. I eventually want to get like a cool art piece as a tattoo soon because a lot of mine has just been line work.
Yeah.
I think I want to get like either a forearm or a thigh tattoo. the thigh tattoo for more obvious reasons. The forearm because I want to
You
like
fucking
add stuff.
slut. Nah.
The forearm because I want to add stuff around this.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the thigh tattoo is just because I think they look cool. That one's not as sentimental or like thoughtful or anything. I think it would just be like get a cool art piece so that I could show it off in short shorts.
I like the idea of designing my own tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think making it more having it be more personal that way would be cool.
Yeah.
But first I gotta fill out my frame a little more.
Yeah. That was what I was worried about getting this one is that I'm like, I don't really have a built out chest or anything. And
Yeah.
there's still baby fat there too. I got it higher up on my chest where it is a little bit more like flat though. So worst case, it stretches out a little bit, but I don't think I'm really going to get to that point where it's like completely distorted. I'm not going to have John Cena bod, you know?
Yeah.
So, but there was one thing that I was going to say before we got totally into the cartoon thing. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, hot pot and Korean barbecue.
Before we get into that, I was gonna say, like, I've noticed it's very hard to debate with you because
we have the same opinion.
that
kind of.
and you also refuse to take a definitive stance.
Yeah.
Like, cause you were
Yeah.
you said Phineas and Ferb, and
To
I was like
some
Gravity
extent.
Falls, and you were like, for this reason you're right. Now fuck you, man.
Yeah. I think that I do like Phineas and God damn. I got like got like dive attacked.
I almost pissed myself.
Did you see what kind of bug that was?
No, I didn't know there was a bug. I was looking down. Phineas and it was hard.
I just got like dive attacked by a bug and it just like landed in my lips.
Oh fuck
It came in for a kiss. It knew you weren't, so it came in and did. Yuck. I was like,
Phineas and bro, you're good. I think you got him.
I know, but I just like I feel gross. I hope that
feel
y'all
gross.
saw the distance that I just like camel spit that shit.
Yo, the little tongue scratches.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I feel gross.
It's like you ever get something and you're just like you feel like there's something on your mouth, even if it's just like a little hair. You're just like I can't get it off with my teeth, so I just have to, you know.
I mean, yeah, but like seeing you do it is.
It's weird seeing it in person, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was foul.
Hot pot. Go ahead and get into that before another fly flies.
Jaden told me
face.
that I should go get hot pot one day because it's really good. And yesterday, I was trying to take Meg on a little date and, you know, be all like, yeah, I can do something cool and
I can cook.
different, you know? Because I was, you know, we were trying to do something different.
I will
from
say
the
what I
usual.
love about Korean barbecue is if the food's bad,
It's your fault.
yeah,
You can't blame the servers.
yeah, you made it.
Yeah. My problem was I had never done this hot pot or the Korean barbecue.
Right.
We decided to do both, and that ended up being like $70 because it was like an all you can eat.
It is up there. You got to eat a lot to make it worth it.
I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I really didn't touch the hot pot at all because I didn't know what to put in. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I was like, am I supposed to make a stew? Am I just using the broth to cook things?
A stew.
Like, just like, am I making soup or am I using it to cook other things? Like, am I boiling shit with it and then taking it out? Like, I don't know what the plot is. I don't know what the plan is.
Yeah.
So
You need one strip of meat. Just swipe across. Boom. That's all you need.
and then for the Korean barbecue, that's pretty straightforward. They give you butter. You go grab meat, just throw it on the grill.
Yeah, glad you were able to piece that together.
Yeah, that part. Even then, I was still a little weird about it because I was worried about chicken. I was like, beef, I'm okay.
I don't even touch the chicken when I do that because I don't even. If I recognize that that's something to worry about, therefore I don't worry about it by not having it.
Meg brought it over and she was like, "Oh, I thought you'd like this. It's like a spicy chicken." And I was like,
I would, but
and they had like a no waste policy, so I was like, I guess I have to now. So I did cook it, and I think I like overcooked it.
Just for safety, yeah.
They're generally really small pieces, but I was just terrified that like I'm not gonna cook this enough. And when I took my first bite out of it, it was definitely cooked, but because it had like a little like chew to it, a little bounce, I immediately was like, it's raw, and I just like grabbed a napkin. I had like the worst anxiety this whole time. It was like something where I was like, I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone and I'm gonna do something different and adventurous and all that.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where I should have just gone with Jaden maybe first.
Yeah, let him take the lead.
So that I could just have an example of what to do.
I
I almost went with Jaden and Seth, I think, and all them when we did that photo shoot, and ended up skipping out to go see Smile. So,
not a bad choice either way.
yeah,
Probably saved yourself a few bucks.
right.
But yeah, was the other food good at least?
It was.
Did you do any more cooking outside of the chicken?
I ended up doing a lot more like beef stuff. Like I had a little steak.
Cool.
At
least with that, you have a little more leeway.
I had a shit ton of like brisket. I just grabbed like 3 or 4 slices of that.
Yeah.
Because again, with the beef, I was like, at the very least, if I undercook it a little bit, I know I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
But again, I was just so disappointed in the hot pot part because I just had the broth sitting there boiling for a long time.
That's so disappointing.
I think I just grabbed a bunch of meats that were like under the hot pot little like bar thing. And those meats were like meatballs, Spam, and like...
You had Spam?
Yeah, I did try Spam.
How was it?
It was pretty good.
Hard.
Again, I didn't know what I was using the hot pot for or like what the purpose of it was. So like I cooked it in the hot pot.
Hot pot Spam as opposed to like putting it on the grill.
Right.
That's weird to me.
Yeah.
Because you probably wanted to get it crispy.
I didn't know how Spam was supposed to be prepared. So I was like, I don't want this to be something that's raw and then I don't cook it all the way.
You ever like fry bologna?
No.
You know how to fry bologna? Just put on the...
Yeah, I assume you just fry it, right?
Yeah. That's typically how you want to prepare Spam.
So Spam is something that like you're not going to like die from undercooking or anything, right?
No.
Okay. So it's kind of just like bologna or something where it's a processed meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
You eat that shit raw.
Yeah, because I did have a good amount of Spam.
And it wasn't like overpowering anything? You enjoyed it?
I kind of just had it on its own. Like I would pick it out from the broth and just like eat it plain. And it was pretty good.
I feel like texturally it'd probably be better
the texture was very weird, yeah. It was very soft.
Yeah, that's why probably should have been on the grill.
Because I didn't know that.
But was it on the hot pot like you said it was like a hot pot tray? Like this is what goes in the broth specifically?
The whole thing was buffet style.
Okay.
And there was one side of the buffet that was like, this is for the hot pot only.
Was Spam on that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't cook it, because maybe it doesn't cook in the middle or something weird. Again, I had no idea what I'm doing. So this may be like the most embarrassing, like, caucus story
It
that
is.
I've told.
No, don't worry. It is.
I was trying to do something different, and I definitely should have gone where I could, like, learn properly. And the waitress kept on coming over and was like, do you guys need any help with anything? Da-da-da-da-da. And I was just like, no, I'm good. Because I didn't want to be embarrassed. I already threw a bunch of, like, dumb shit into my hot pot. And I was like, I don't want them to be like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
So I was like, no, I'm good. And she was like, okay. And then walked away. Like, you could tell that she was a little like, you sure?
Yeah, no.
I think I threw ramen into the hot pot because I was like, am I supposed to throw ramen in there?
Nah, put that shit on the grill for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't really like the broth that we picked.
Aw.
It was like Szechuan, like hot and spicy or something.
Aw.
It wasn't my favorite.
Damn. What an all-around disappointing experience for $70.
Right.
If you went with Jaden, I'm sure it'd be different.
I texted Jaden and I was like, I just spent $70 on rice. Because they gave us a thing of rice. And for the first like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that's all I ate. I was watching Megan chow down.
You're insane.
And I'm just sitting there eating the rice. I'm like, fuck, man. I wasted all this money. I'm looking like a dumbass. I have this food that's like sitting on this tray that I'm supposed to cook, but I have no idea what to do with it. I don't cook.
Did Megan look
I make
in
pasta.
control?
Kinda. I mean, she mostly did the Korean barbecue. She didn't really do much for her hot pot either. Originally, we were trying to see if we could do it where, like, she gets the hot pot, I get the barbecue, and then we, like, split it that way. It doesn't work that way. It's, like, per person.
Yeah.
Because I think they only charge you $5 extra if you do both. But it's, like, 25 if you just do one, and then it's, like, 32 if you do both. Because in reality, all that really changes is that they turn on one of the heaters, and then you just go get some of the other stuff.
Yeah.
So it made sense. It's just, like... I felt dumb the whole time.
Yeah.
So to anybody who was wondering, and I was already at my breaking point because this week has just been rough. I'm so behind on school. This weekend I did so many photo shoots.
A lot of storage taken up.
Yes.
But
I had 99 gigabytes of photos for any photographers out there.
not video, not like 4K video.
Photos. That is what it looks like when I go to when I go to export the podcast every week. It says 128 gigabytes. Because I'm shooting in 4K, big ass sensor, 48 megapixel sensor, I think, on this camera.
Yeah.
Huge. No, I think it's 32 or something like that. Maybe wrong. I don't know.
Those are words.
Again, camera people know. It takes big photos and videos and stuff. And I didn't realize that it takes a lot of videos or a lot of photos. You know, I'm still getting used to the... I can do 15 frames a second, and I keep forgetting to turn that down a bit. But my fear of, like, missing a good shot makes me end up, like, leaving it on. And then I end up just wasting a bunch of space. So,
No. But
without getting too deep into that, yeah, it was a lot this week. And then the haircut, just to compound on top.
we got to end with that.
Yeah.
We talked about the haircut. We talked about how fucking tragic and awful it is. It's been shrouded in mystery. There is a bug inside your straw.
Where?
It flew out.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to drink out of there anyways.
Yeah. So, can you please reveal what it...
Guys, I'm bald. Just try to leave it at that so that people think I'm bald. You know what I'm playing? Let's go for the thumbnail. I'll like
Just rip it. Just...
and then put a Mr. Clean thing.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Come on, just reveal. Just get it all.
They cut the whole shit off. They gave me the little Edgar cut. It's pretty rough.
You can put it away now.
Yeah, I mean, you will hurt my feelings. Does it look okay? Please. Tell me it looks okay. This is why we got my JPEG Mafia bandana.
I can't do that for you, brother. I can't.
I'm gonna be honest. That is not my vocabulary.
I have to be real. God.
The point on the bandanas.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm wearing the white bandanas. I got
No.
Anyways, guys.
Wow.
That was the big reveal.
I'm sorry.
It's pretty rough. I hope you use that for none of the promo. Like, maybe do it where, like, I'm about to pull it off and then cut it to black so that people have to, like, go watch the video.
I don't
We
know
appreciate
if that's what's going to happen.
No, don't show it because then it gives it away. This man doesn't know marketing. Okay. He doesn't know I'm a business major.
Okay. Yeah, third time's the charms. Anyway.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating. That helps us. This turning away.
Yeah.
Maybe this is why they do that.
Probably.
Yeah, it's like a better setup just generally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Maybe we'll have some cool surprises. Who knows?
For those who don't know, this is actually the size differential between us.
Oh, yeah. We shoot this as the thumbnail shot.
Yeah. Is this the part where we kiss?
Yeah.
No.
All right. See y'all next week.